Douglas Paisley is an American country singer-songwriter and musician. His songs are frequently laced with humor and pop culture references. Starting with the release of his 1999 debut album Who Needs Pictures, Paisley has recorded 9 studio albums and a Christmas compilation on the Arista Nashville label, with all of his albums certified gold or higher by the RIAA. In addition, as of 2013 he has scored 32 top 10 singles on the U.S. Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, 18 of which have reached no. 1 and holds the record of 10 consecutive singles reaching the top spot on the chart. Paisley has sold over 12 million albums and won 3 Grammy Awards, 14 Academy of Country Music Awards, 14 Country Music Association Awards, 2 American Music Awards, and has earned country music's crowning achievement, becoming a member of the Grand Ole Opry. Life and career. Early life. Paisley was born on October 28, 1972, in Glendale, West Virginia, to Douglas Edward "Doug" Paisley, who worked for the West Virginia Department of Transportation, and Sandra Jean "Sandy" Paisley, a teacher. He is of Scottish heritage on his father's side, and of English heritage on his mother's side. He was raised in Glendale, West Virginia. He has stated that his love of country music stems from his maternal grandfather, Warren Jarvis, who gave Paisley his first guitar, a Sears Dane Electro Silvertone, at 8 years old and taught him how to play. At age 10, he performed for the first time in public by singing in his church. He later recalled that, "Pretty soon, I was performing at every Christmas party and Mother's Day event. The neat thing about a small town is that when you want to be an artist, by golly, they'll make you one." At age 13, Paisley wrote his first song, titled, "Born on Christmas Day." He had been taking lessons with local guitarist Clarence Hank Goddard. By age 13, Goddard and Paisley formed a band called Brad Paisley and the C Notes, with the addition of 2 of Paisley's adult friends. While in junior high, his principal heard him perform Born on Christmas Day, and invited him to play at the local Rotary Club meeting. In attendance was Tom Miller, the program director of a radio station in Wheeling, West Virginia. Miller asked him if he would like to be a guest on Jamboree USA. After his first performance, he was asked to become a member of the show's weekly lineup. For the next 8 years, he opened for country singers such as the Judds, Ricky Skaggs and George Jones. He would become the youngest person inducted into the Jamboree USA Hall of Fame. He also performed at the Jamboree in the Hills. Paisley graduated from John Marshall High School in Glendale, West Virginia, in 1991, and then studied for 2 years at West Liberty State College in West Liberty, West Virginia. He was awarded a fully paid ASCAP scholarship to Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee, where he majored in music business and received a Bachelor of Business Administration degree from the Mike Curb School of Music Business in 1995. He interned at ASCAP, Atlantic Records, and the Fitzgerald Hartley management firm. While in college, he met Frank Rogers, a fellow student who went on to serve as his producer. Paisley also met Kelly Lovelace, who became his songwriting partner. He also met Chris Dubois in college, and he too, would write songs for him. Within a week after graduating from Belmont, Paisley signed a songwriting contract with EMI Music Publishing. And, he wrote David Kirsch's top 5 hit, Another You, as well as David Ball's 1999 single, Watching My Baby Not Come Back. The latter song was also co-written by Ball, 1999–2001, Who Needs Pictures. His debut as a singer was with the label Arista Nashville, with the song, Who Needs Pictures. In May of that same year, he made his first appearance on the Grand Ole Opry. 7 months later he had his first no. 1 hit with He Didn't Have to Be, which detailed the story of Paisley's frequent co-writer Kelly Lovelace and Lovelace's stepson, McCain Merron. We Danced also was a hit for Paisley off the debut album, reaching no. 1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot Country Singles and Tracks chart. By February 2001, the album was certified platinum. In 2000, Paisley's mainstream notoriety received a huge boost when he was exposed to his first national non-country music-oriented audience on the TLC special, Route 66, Main Street America. Its producer, Todd Baker, tapped the young musician to appear on this show when he was a relative unknown outside the world of country music. It featured Paisley and his band doing rare live and acoustic versions of Route 66. The international and home video versions of this program end with a full, uncut acoustic rendition of the piece, which was performed live on Rainbow Bridge in Riverton, Kansas. The show predicted that Paisley would become a legendary musician, and also featured blues artist Buddy Guy. Later in 2000, Paisley won the Country Music Association's Horizon Award and the Academy of Country Music's Best New Male Vocalist trophy. He received his first Grammy Award nomination a year later for Best New Artist. On February 17, 2001, Paisley was inducted into the Grand Ole Opry. He was 28 when he accepted the invitation, and was the youngest member ever to join. PBS did a 75th anniversary concert special, which saw Paisley pair up with Chailey Wright and sing a song called Hard to Be a Husband, Hard to Be a Wife, which would be included on the album Backstage at the Opry. The concert would get a CMA nomination for Vocal Event of the Year, 2001 a 2003, Part 2. In 2002, he won the CMA Music Video of the Year for I'm Gonna Miss Her. Several celebrities made notable guest appearances in the video, including Little Jimmy Dickens, Kimberly Williams, Dan Patrick, and Jerry Springer. His three other singles off the Part 2 album, I Wish You'd Stay, Wrapped Around, and Two People Fell in Love, which all charted in the top 10. The album stayed in the charts for more than 70 weeks and was certified platinum in August 2002. To support his album, he toured the country as the opening act for Lone Star. 2003 a 2005, Mud on the Tires, Paisley released his third album, Mud on the Tires, following Who Needs Pictures in Part 2. The album features the hit song Celebrity, the video of which parodies television shows such as Fear Factor, American Idol, The Bachelorette, and According to Jim, and included such celebrities as Jason Alexander, James Belushi, Little Jimmy Dickens, Trista Wren, and William Shatner. The album's title track, Mud on the Tires, reached Billboard No. 1 in 2004. In addition, the ninth track from Mud on the Tires, Whiskey Lullaby, a duet with Alison Krauss, reached No. 3 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles and Tracks charts, and No. 41 on the Billboard Hot 100. The music video for Whiskey Lullaby also won several awards and was rated No. 2 on the 100 Greatest Videos by CMT in 2008. The album was certified double platinum. 2005 a 2007, Time Well Wasted. In 2005, after touring with Reba McEntire and Terry Clark on the Two Hats and a Redhead tour, he released Time Well Wasted, containing 15 tracks. This album includes Alcohol, two duets When I Get Where I'm Going with Dolly Parton and Out in the Parking Lot with Alan Jackson and a bonus track, Cornography, a comedy track featuring the Kung Pao Buckaroos, Little Jimmy Dickens, George Jones, and Bill Anderson. On November 6, 2006, the album Time Well Wasted won the Country Music Association CMA Award for Best Album. Time Well Wasted also won Album of the Year at the 2006 ACM Awards. Paisley also contributed 2 original songs to the Disney film Cars. These can be found on the film's soundtrack. This was in recognition of his contribution to the Route 66, Main Street America television special. At the 2006 Grammy Awards, Paisley received 4 nominations: Best Country Album, Best Country Song, Best Country Instrumental and Best Country Vocal, Male. 2007 a 2008, Fifth Gear, Paisley's fifth studio album, Fifth Gear, was released in the United States on June 19, 2007. The first 4 singles from the album, Ticks, Online, Letter to Me, and I'm Still a Guy, all reached number 1 on the country music single charts, making 7 straight number 1 hits for Paisley. Online featured the Brentwood High School Marching Band playing toward the end of the song, a cameo by Jason Alexander, and again featured a cameo by William Shatner. Throttleneck would also reach number 1, which would get Paisley his first Grammy. The fifth single from Fifth Gear actually came from a reissued version of the album, a new recording of Waitin' on a Woman, a track cut from Time Well Wasted. The reissued version received unsolicited airplay in late 2006, and features less prominent string guitar and violin parts and a more muted musical tone. For the chart week of September 20, 2008, the song became Paisley's 12th #1 single and his 8th straight #1 hit, making him the artist with the most consecutive #1 country hits since the inception of Nielsen's SoundScan in 1990. In July 2006, Brad was tapped for a television appearance as an animated character in the Wonder Pets' Daddy Armadillo. The yet-to-be-broadcast episode features Brad's wife, Kimberly Williams Paisley, as Mama Armadillo. Paisley toured April 26, 2007, through February 24, 2008 in support of Fifth Gear on the Bonfires and Amplifiers tour. The tour visited 94 cities over a 10-month period and played for over 1 million fans. The tour was so successful that it was extended past its original end date to February 2008. Some of the opening acts who appeared during the tour were Taylor Swift, Kelly Pickler, Jack Ingram, Rodney Atkins and Chuck Wicks. Paisley was nominated for 3 2008 Grammy Awards related to Fifth Gear, Best Country Album, Best Country Collaboration, and Best Country Instrumental. On February 10, 2008, he won his first Grammy Award for Best Country Instrumental for Throttleneck. In March 2008, Brad Paisley announced his next tour, The Paisley Party, a 42-day tour sponsored by Hershey's. The tour kicked off on June 11, 2008, in Albuquerque, New Mexico with Wicks, Julianne Hough and Jewel as the opening acts. 2008 2009, Play. A 6, largely instrumental album, titled Play, was released on November 4, 2008. Brad Paisley and Keith Urban released to country radio their first duet together on September 8, 2008, Start a Band. It was the first and only single from Play, and it went on to become Paisley's 13th #1 hit and his 9th in a row. The album also features collaborations with James Burton, Little Jimmy Dickens, Vince Gill, John Jorgensen, B.B. King, Albert Lee, Brent Mason, Buck Owens, Reed Vocat and Steve Werner. Paisley and Urban both received Entertainer of the Year nominations from the CMA on September 10, 2008. On November 12, 2008, Brad Paisley won Male Vocalist of the Year and Music Video of the Year for Waitin' on a Woman during the CMA's 2009 Euro 2010 American Saturday Night. Brad Paisley announced on January 26, 2009, his new tour named American Saturday Night. Dierks Bentley and Jimmy Wayne will be opening in the majority of the shows. Brad Paisley's newest album, American Saturday Night, was released on June 30, 2009. The album's lead-off single, Then, was released in March 2009 and performed for the first time on American Idol on March 18. It went on to become Paisley's 14th #1 single and his 10th in a row. On May 6, 2009, Paisley gave an exclusive performance to a small group of members from his fan club in Studio A of the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee, as he and his band taped an episode of CMT Invitation Only. The show gives fans a chance to see their favorite artists in a more intimate setting, up close and personal. There was a Q&A session and interaction between Paisley and his fans. The show aired on Monday, August 3 at 9 p.m. on CMT. On July 21, 2009, Paisley performed at the White House for President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama in celebration of country music. Country music at the White House was streamed live on the White House website as well as a special on Great American Country. On November 11, 2009, Paisley co-hosted the CMA Awards for the second straight year. He also performed Welcome to the Future, and won both Male Vocalist of the Year and Musical Event of the Year for Start a Band with Keith Urban. On March 1, 2010, Paisley was the first musical performance with American Saturday Night for the second tenure of The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. On Friday, March 5, 2010, Paisley slipped and fell performing his last song of the set, Alcohol, at a concert at the North Charleston Coliseum in Charleston, South Carolina, on the final date of the American Saturday Night Tour. Fearing a broken rib, he was held overnight at an area hospital, but was released when a CT scan was negative. On July 31, 2010, Brad performed alongside Carrie Underwood at the inaugural Greenbrier Classic PGA Tour event in Lewisburg, WA. An estimated 60,000 people attended the outdoor event to watch Underwood and Paisley perform in the pouring rain. On August 4, 2010, it was announced on his official website that Paisley would release his first official greatest hits package, entitled Hits Alive. Released on November 2, 2010, Hits Alive is a double-disc collection, with one disc containing studio versions of Paisley's hit singles, while the companion disc features previously unreleased live versions of his songs. Brad Paisley co-hosted the 44th Annual CMA Awards on November 10, 2010, where he was also awarded the CMA's top award, Entertainer of the Year. During his acceptance speech, Paisley emotionally honored his grandfather, who inspired him to play the guitar. In 2012, MSN.com listed American Saturday Night as one of the 21 essential 21st century albums. 2011 2012, This Is Country Music. In December 2010, Paisley released This Is Country Music as the title track to his 8th studio album, released May 23, 2011. The album's second single, Old Alabama, released to country radio on March 14, 2011, and became Paisley's 19th #1 hit. Remind Me, with Carrie Underwood, was released May 23, 2011, to radio. On March 22, 2011, Paisley's website announced a new beta game titled Brad Paisley World. The game is modeled after other Facebook games such as Farmville or Mafia Wars and features original animation. The game provides a new way for fans to interact with each other and view exclusive material that would otherwise be unavailable. On May 12, 2011, Paisley's website announced that he would release 2 songs on the soundtrack for the film Cars 2. One of them would be a collaboration with British pop singer Robbie Williams. On September 21, 2011, Mailboat Records released Mark Twain, Words and Music, a double CD telling Mark Twain's life in spoken word and song, including a new song by Paisley titled Huck Finn Blues. Paisley's website announced that he was a fan of Twain, prompting his collaboration on the project with Clint Eastwood, Jimmy Buffett, Sheryl Crow, Vince Gill, and others. On October 19, 2011, Paisley made a voice cameo as various background characters in the South Park episode Based to Mouth. On January 14, 2012, Paisley was a guest on Garrison Keillor's Prairie Home Companion, during which he did a rendition of Life's Railway to Heaven by Charles Davis Tillman. On April 25, 2012, Paisley was featured on the South Park episode Cartman Finds Love, in which he voiced himself, sang the national anthem, and helped Cartman sing the 90s hit song I Swear, which was popularized in 1994 by the country musician John Michael Montgomery and the pop group All For One. Paisley extended his virtual reality world tour through mid-2012. He toured the country and made pit stops at local country music festivals. The goal of these outdoor concerts was to give the audience the full experience of Brad Paisley's music, as many of his songs contain outdoor elements. 2012 2013, Wheelhouse. On September 20, 2012, Paisley released a new single, Southern Comfort Zone. The song debuted at number 25 on the Hot Country Songs chart, becoming Paisley's highest debut to date. It reached number 2 on the Country Airplay chart in 2013. The song was the first single from his 9th studio album, Wheelhouse, released on April 9, 2013. The album's second single, Beat This Summer, was released to country radio on March 4, 2013. It also reached number 2 on the Country Airplay chart in July 2013. The album's third single, I Can't Change the World, was released to country radio on August 19, 2013. The album's fourth single, The Mona Lisa, was released to country radio on December 9, 2013. On June 12, 2013, Paisley announced on his Twitter page that he would join the Rolling Stones on stage during the band's concert in Philadelphia. His track Accidental Racist, a duet with LL Cool J, generated a bit of notoriety when it was released. Interestingly, Paisley sings about showing Southern pride with a Confederate flag when he was born and raised in West Virginia, a state that came into being as a reaction against the Confederacy, in the town of Glendale, which is above the Mason-Dixon line. 2014 A Euro Present, Moonshine in the Trunk. On April 6, 2014, Paisley released Riverbank. It is the lead single from his upcoming 10th studio album for Arista Nashville, Moonshine in the Trunk. Paisley co-wrote the song with Kelly Lovelace and co-produced it with Luke Wooten. On May 24, 2014, Paisley traveled on Air Force One with President Barack Obama to visit U.S. troops at Bagram Air Base in Bagram, Afghanistan. Paisley played a full concert for the troops stationed there. On June 1, 2014, Rolling Stone magazine ranked Welcome to the Future number 100 in their list of the 100 greatest country songs. Books. Diary of a Player. Brad Paisley released his book Diary of a Player, How My Musical Heroes Made a Guitar Man Out of Me in 2011 under Howard Books Publishing. He co-wrote the book with author David Wild, a contributing editor for Rolling Stone magazine and an Emmy-nominated TV writer and producer. The book is an autobiography and talks about Brad's introduction to the music industry and how the events in his life helped to prepare him for what was up ahead. The book features topics such as Brad's first guitar that his grandfather gave him, his first band The C Notes, the first song he wrote, and many more music guitar-related topics. Although the book does speak briefly of his personal life, the main focus is on his music and the start of his career. The book pays tribute to all of the people who took the time to invest in his life and make him the person and the musician that he is today. Tours. Brooks and Dunn's Neon Circus and Wild West Show 2003, Mud and Suds Tour 2004, Two Hats and a Redhead Tour 2005, Time Well Wasted Tour 2006, Bonfires and Amplifiers Tour 2007 A Euro 08, The Paisley Party Tour 2008, The Paisley Party Tour 2009, American Saturday Night Tour 2009, American Saturday Night Tour 2010, The H2O Tour 2010, Waterworld Stage, Easton Corbin, Steel Magnolia, Josh Thompson. The H2O Frozen Over Tour 2011, H2O2, Wetter and Wilder World Tour, Waterworld Stage, Select Dates, Sunny Sweeney, The Jane Deere Girls, Brett Eldridge, Eden's Edge. Virtual Reality World Tour 2012, Virtual Opry Stage, Select Dates, Love and Theft, Jana Kramer, Chris and Kelly. Beat This Summer Tour 2013, Beat This Winter Tour 2014 Second North America leg, with Chris Young, Danielle Bradbury. Country Nation World Tour, Band. Paisley records his studio albums, in most part, with the backing of his live band, the Drama Kings. Their first gig together was May 7, 1999. Current members, Brad Paisley a Euro lead vocals, lead guitar, Gary Hooker a Euro rhythm guitar, Randall Curry a Euro steel guitar, Kendall Marcy a Euro keyboards, banjo, mandolin, Justin Williamson a Euro fiddle, mandolin, Kenny Louisa a Euro bass guitar, Ben Caesar a Euro drums. Former members, Jimmy Heffernan, steel guitar, Ken Lush, keyboard, Earl Clark, steel guitar, Jody Harris, guitar, mandolin, banjo. Personal life. In the last months of 2000, Paisley had a relationship with fellow country music singer and Richard Marx protege Chaley Wright. Unbeknownst to Paisley, Wright and her female partner had moved together into a new home earlier in the year. In her autobiography, Wright expressed remorse for how she treated him. Paisley and Kimberly Williams began dating in 2001. Paisley had first seen Williams in Father of the Bride, which he attended with a former girlfriend. Paisley and his former girlfriend ended their relationship prior to the release of Father of the Bride Part 2, which Paisley went to see alone. Paisley has stated that he watched Williams' performance and thought she seems like a great girl, a Euro smart and funny and all those things that are so hard to find. In 2002, Williams appeared in a video for the song I'm Gonna Miss Her, the last release from his Part 2 album. The two married on March 15, 2003, at Stauffer Chapel on the campus of Pepperdine University after a 9-month engagement. They live in Franklin, Tennessee, and had another home in Pacific Palisades that was sold in 2013. Paisley and William's first son, William Huckleberry, or Huck, was born on February 22, 2007, in Nashville. Their second son, Jasper Warren, was born on April 17, 2009. Paisley is a member of the Southern jurisdiction of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, and a noble of the AAONMS, also known as Shriners. He was accompanied by his father, Doug Paisley, for the ceremony on October 28, 2006. He is also a lifelong fan of the Cleveland Browns. Paisley sang the national anthem before a game during the 1999 season, and stated in an interview with ESPN his dream job would be to play football for them. He also invited former Browns quarterback Brady Quinn to a concert at the Blossom Music Center, in 2008. Paisley is also a fan of West Virginia athletics and the Chicago Cubs. In late 2009, it was announced in Variety that Paisley would enter the world of scripted television as an executive producer of a new hour-long drama series for the CW network called, appropriately, Nashville. The plot was written and created by Neil Dodson and actor Matt Bomer. The creator of the series One Tree Hill, Mark Schvahn, will direct the pilot and oversee the series. Actor Zachary Quinto is also an executive producer on the series, along with Dodson, Bomer, and Corey Musa. The pilot was not picked up for a series when the CW's fall schedule was announced in May 2010. The CW project is completely unrelated to the current ABC series, also named Nashville. Instruments. Paisley's first guitar, a gift from his grandfather, was a Silvertone Dane Electro 1451, which came with an amp in case. His next guitar, which he got at the age of 10 or 11, also from his grandfather, was a C-cover copy of a Gibson ES-335, with a Fender Deluxe reverb. The instrument most often associated with him is a 1968 pink Paisley Fender Telecaster. Like many Nashville-based musicians, he lost a number of instruments and other gear in the 2010 flood in Nashville, including a 1970s Gibson Les Paul and the prototype for a Z-Rec, one of the signature Paisley Dr. Z amplifiers. The insurance money, however, allowed him to buy an exclusive 1937 Herringbone Martin D28. In 2010, Brad Paisley and Wampler Pedals released the Brad Paisley Signature Paisley Drive, a guitar overdrive pedal designed to the specifications of Brad Paisley. Paisley has also used Audio-Tech guitar products Abbey selectors for controlling his wireless receiver units. Discography. Studio albums: Who Needs Pictures, Part 2, Mud on the Tires, Time Well Wasted, Brad Paisley Christmas, Fifth Gear, Play, American Saturday Night, This Is Country Music, Wheelhouse, Moonshine in the Trunk. Awards. Brad Paisley has won the following awards: Academy of Country Music, 1999 a Euro Top New Male Vocalist of the Year, 2004 a Euro Vocal Event of the Year, 2004 a Euro Video of the Year, 2005 a Euro Album of the Year, 2005 a Euro Vocal Event of the Year, 2005 a Euro Video of the Year, 2007 a Euro Top Male Vocalist of the Year, 2008 a Euro Top Male Vocalist of the Year, 2008 a Euro Video of the Year, 2009 a Euro Video of the Year, 2009 a Euro Vocal Event of the Year, 2009 a Euro Top Male Vocalist of the Year, 2010 a Euro Top Male Vocalist of the Year, 2011 a Euro Top Male Vocalist of the Year. Country Music Association Awards, 2000 a Euro Horizon Award, 2001 a Euro Vocal Event of the Year, 2002 a Euro Music Video of the Year, 2004 a Euro Musical Event of the Year, 2004 a Euro Music Video of the Year, 2006 a Euro Album of the Year, 2006 a Euro Musical Event of the Year, 2007 a Euro Music Video of the Year, 2007 a Euro Male Vocalist of the Year, 2008 a Euro Music Video of the Year, 2008 a Euro Male Vocalist of the Year, 2009 a Euro Male Vocalist of the Year, 2009 a Euro Musical Event of the Year, 2010 a Euro Entertainer of the Year. Grammy Awards, 2008 a Euro Best Country Instrumental Performance, 2009 a Euro Best Country Instrumental Performance, 2009 a Euro Best Male Country Vocal Performance. Country Weekly presents the TNN Music Awards, 2000 €, the Discovery Award, 2000 €, Song of the Year, 2000 €, CMT Music Video of the Year. Flameworthy Award CMT Music Awards, 2002 €, Concept Video of the Year, 2005 €, Collaborative Video of the Year, 2006 €, Most Inspiring Video of the Year, 2008 €, Comedy Video of the Year, 2009 €, CMT Performance of the Year, 2009 €, Collaborative Video of the Year, 2009 €, Male Video of the Year, 2012, Collaborative Video of the Year. American Music Awards, 2008 €, Favorite Country Male Artist, 2010 €, Favorite Country Male Artist. American Country Awards, 2010 €, Artist of the Year, Male, 2011 €, Artist of the Year, Male, 2012 €, Single of the Year, Vocal Collaboration. Orville H. Gibson Guitar Award, 2002 €, Best Country Guitarist. Nashville Songwriters Association International Award, 2002 €, Songwriter Artist of the Year, 2005 €, Songwriter Artist of the Year. ASCAP Country Music Award, 2004 €, Songwriter Artist of the Year. Filmography, television appearances. Paisley appeared on the July 30, 2013, episode of Late Night with Jimmy Fallon to Sing, with Fallon, Fallon's protest song against the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. The song is called Balls in Your Mouth, its title referring to tar balls. Paisley guest-starred in the South Park episode Cartman Finds Love. Paisley has appeared as himself in the first 2 seasons of the ABC music drama series, Nashville. He guest-starred in a season 11 episode of 2.5 Men with wife Kimberly Williams Paisley. Paisley is currently a judge on the ABC show Rising Star along with singers Kesha and Ludacris. References. External links, official website, profile at Forbes.